my sister's about to go in. My mom just grabbed my sister out. I'm like, what happened? She's like, it's bleach that you I was going to bath my sister in bleach. Hello. Hello my beautiful people, welcome to my channel. My name is Miriam K. I hope you're all doing well. I know we've all been going through a really tough time right now, and at the moment the UK is even on second lockdown, so I know it can get quite depressing, so today I wanted to just discuss something that's a bit more light, something that you may or may not find funny, but just instead of the same thing, just even if for a few minutes you can just laugh and be entertained. So I'm going to do a story time. I've never actually done like a story time, but yeah, I'm going to do a story time, and this story time is about the first time I and my sister when I came over to the UK. So it was 2002, the 9th of January. After a long, like 11 years of civil war, where I'm from in Sierra Leone. Our mom had been trying so hard to try and get us to come over to the UK to join her, but with everything that was going on, it wasn't really easy, and it took a while, but this time finally, after we went to the embassy and everything, and then it was granted, and they got us our flight to come over to the UK. So it was me and my sister, because that time my brother was in the Gambia. It was me and my sister Ami that were in Sierra Leone. So we came unaccompanied without an adult. My mom instead got the flight attendant to look after us, and thankfully that time it was a direct flight, not now that you have to stop at 5 different continents or countries before you even get to Sierra Leone. That time it was a straightforward flight from there, and I still remember it was Monarch Airline. Yeah, it was Monarch Airline. I still remember. So the day came, my mom had already sent us our matching outfit. Oh my god, I wish if I find the pictures I would insert it somewhere there. Yeah, so she bought us our matching outfit. So it was like a sort of like a teddy bear kind of dress. It was a black dress, and then we had the jackets to go with it, and then we had tights on. And I don't know if my mom forgot that it was winter in the UK. I didn't even know what winter was at that time. I just I knew about rainy season, dry season, amateur. That's what I knew of. All the rest is only from watching movies and snow and all of that, but I didn't really truly know how we felt, because we didn't have that in Africa. So we got onto the flight. Our uncle took us to the airport with our auntie, and we had to say goodbye. We couldn't say goodbye to all our friends, even because at that time it was just after the Christmas holiday, and so we had not even been going to school, and we didn't bring any suitcases. We didn't have any luggages. The only thing we had was, of course, the matching bag that goes with the matching jacket, that goes with the matching dress. So that's what we had, just this little cute like purse kind of. So those were the only things we had. That had our passport, and I think that's about the passport, boarding pass and all of that, ticket. So that's what we had, because that time it was the physical ticket itself, not like now you have e-ticket. That's what we had in our little bags. The flights came, and we went to Lunge Airport. That was my first time as well going to Lunge even, and got onto the flight, and we were still there. I thought as soon as we entered, bam, we're taking off, but we're still there. So my uncle handed us over to somebody in the airport. My mom had made all the arrangements, and then she handed us over to the attendants and the crew on board. So they took us first, and they took us first to get us into the flight before everybody else came. And yeah, my mom had paid like first class just to make sure that, you know, we're safe and all of that, and we're prioritized and that. So we went, we sat, you know, just my sister 2 seats. They came, they asked us if we want a blanket. I was like, yeah. Then just entering the plane alone, the aircon, I was like, oh my god, I thought that was the worst it can get. I didn't know, oh lord, it would get so much worse. So excuse me. So I know these days you should not even be coughing. But I'm good to go. Yeah, I'm good to go. So please don't get scared and run away from your computers because I coughed. So yeah, so we got in, they put the seatbelts on us, gave us a blanket. I was like, yeah, if you have 10 blankets, please hand them over all to me. I was cold as hell. Our jacket though was kind of like those puffy jackets, yeah, like those fluffy jacket, but we nonetheless we still had tights and dress. So finally it was time for the flight to take off. Took off, and at first, like, you know that feeling you get in your gut, I was like, what's happening, what's happening? I was holding on to that chair. I was holding onto my seat. As the plane was taking off, I was like, maybe, you know, you fall off or something. I was like holding for dear life, holding on to my sister, holding on to the seat as the flight was taking off. I was like, oh my god, is this how it's gonna feel for the rest of this trip? So went on, and then finally so they gave us some activity books to kind of do in the flight, because it was just me and my sister that sat. It was spacious because it was first class, and they gave us this activity stuff we're doing. And then the lady, one of the crew members, came and it's like, oh, can I get you a drink, anything? And my sister's like, oh, I was like, what are you doing? We don't have money to pay for this. We don't have money to pay for it. Why are you asking? I'm like, do you want us to come and do you want them to arrest us? Why are you asking for a drink? I'm like, don't ask, we don't have money to pay for it. And I think the lady heard, and it's like, no, it's free, it's fine. you can let me know what you want. So they came, gave us some drinks, and then later on during the flight they were serving food. And you know when they come chicken or beef, here I am thinking they're about to have some cassava cassava leaf, some stew laid out. I was like, chicken. Thinking it was that kind of like African kind of chicken. And so before even they gave us the meal, I was all there thinking, oh my god, we're gonna have some nice food, stew, or maybe even cassava leaf. Then I opened it, I saw potatoes. I'm like, huh? And one small chicken. I was like, huh? This is, first of all, I was like, this is not chicken. What sort of creature is this? This is not chicken. Chicken not supposed to look and taste like this, you know. But obviously I barely ate anything. I just ate more of the snacks that they had, and I'm looking at this food like, what is this? This is what we feed our dogs in our pets in Africa. What the hell are these people doing? So we went on, then finally we arrived at Gatwick Airport. Our flight arrived at 5:30 in the morning. It was dark, as in, I was like, it looked as if it was 3 a.m. instead of, you know, up or 12, even midnight. It was dark. I was like, oh my god. Of course you can see all the lights. As we were landing, I was looking through the window, and I was just like seeing the whole place just lighting up. And I remember when we left Sierra Leone, it was not like that. You can spot the number of buildings that were lit up when we were taking off from Sierra Leone. So I'm like, wow, this is heaven. I've not even touched down, but I was like, this is heaven. And let's touch down again. When the flight was landing, holding on to my seat, holding on like, oh my god, what's happening, and I'm seeing nobody's even shaking, and I'm there like, I can't breathe. I don't think I can breathe. Even my sister was looking at me like, are you okay? But we landed after literally feeling like I was about to throw up every food I've ever eaten in my life. We landed, and somebody else took her the crew passed us to another person, you know. So we got there. Now they were expecting my mom to be there waiting, but she wasn't. So they started making an announcement, and I'm just listening to the people as they were speaking the English. I'm like, geez. Miss Aminata Bangura, Miss Aminata Bangura, please come to gate this. Miss Aminata, please come to arrivals or whatever. Miss Aminata Bangura. I was like, okay. And then we were there. Finally, I think they got in touch. They called my mom. My mom's like, they're just pulling up. They're getting there. And so we sat there. As we sat there waiting, I heard like people speaking Creole, our language, and they were like, you know, talking. Look them, look, not to them, not to them. So, and I told my sister, I was like, oh my God, these people, they're from Sierra Leone as well. And guess who these people were? My mom, my mom, and my elder half sister, and just looking at them as this strange woman is coming to hug us. And my was just like, who's this? And then because it had been so many years, you know, I think it had been like 8 years since my mom left, and my mom is the kind of person, even to this day, if she changes her hairstyle, she will look different. Like depending on what hairstyle she has, she'll just look different. So the pictures that I had even seen, I could not relate. And also, I don't know, maybe I was just tired as well from a long flight. So then the lady that I was looking after us while we were waiting, and then she looked at us, is this your mommy? I was like, is it? You have to tell me, because I don't know. You have to tell me. And then they had to check my mom's ID before they were able to then pass us on. And even as we're going, I'm looking at my sisters like, imagine if this is just some strangers that are kidnapping us. I remember reading a story about, you know, people getting kidnapped. So I was like, I was still very like, you know, just vigilant looking. I was like, I do hope this is our mom, please God. And when I thought inside the flight was cold because of the AC, oh Lord, I didn't even know that's just the tip of the iceberg. When we finally came out, because we straight from the flight, we came straight into the airport through the, you know, the gates, so it wasn't like we got down, so I had not really felt the actual cold at that point. The door opened, the automatic door opened, and the cold, it's like the cold smacked us in the face. I was like, at this point, so my mom had to go with us back to the airport, took us to a restroom to get us to wear trousers and other stuff. So she came prepared at least. Finally, we got in the car, so we're leaving the airport, and all I could see is that like this little lights on the road, on the actual road. I was like, wow, this is heaven. They even have light on the floor. We can't even get light in our houses. You know, the reflectors. That time I thought it was the lights that were on the floor. I was like, oh heaven, this might be cold, but thank God. So we went home, where my mom was at the time. We went home. Before even we left the airport. So while we were going to the arrivals gate to meet my mom, we had to go through this escalator. Oh Lord, my sister's gonna kill me for this. My sister, when the lady's like, oh, just put your foot and it will take you. So me, I held on and I did it. My sister's just like, you know, when somebody is about to do a backflip or whatever, my sister jumped and landed on that escalator like she's in Mortal Kombat. The way she jumped. As if, I don't know if you've ever seen like Mortal Kombat, you know, when they're like floating in the air. That's what my sister jumped. So that happened. Then we got to the building and my mom pressed and this box opened and entered into this box. I was thinking, is this where this woman live? Now I'm talking about the elevator. I was like, is this where mom lives? This is not mom. So and I started feeling movement. Next minute and it opens and we're at the 3rd floor. So I was like, jeez, what? Everything that time was so fascinating to me. First of all, I was young and coming from Sierra Leone where we've had war and all of that, so we were not as advanced already like here, so it was all just new to me, strange. We went to the house and finally, like, we saw pictures my mom had. I was like, okay, I guess it's our mom after all. So she had it. We didn't bring any clothes or anything with us, no luggage, so my mom took some stuff out for us. I don't know if my mom realized how small I was. No, she went for the age rather than my actual body size. So some of the stuff is literally like hanging, because I was 12 at the time, but I was looking like a 8-year-old child. If I find the pictures, I will insert so you know what I'm talking about. And so it's there, but that first few days was just like so down. It was so strange. Here I am, we've left our families, those that we knew, friends, to come here. So it was a little bit of time to adjust to that. When we got her, my mom said if we wanted to eat. I was like, yeah. And then she said, what does she, and I asked her what is there to eat, and she like, oh, I made some stew. I was like, praise the Lord, this is the stew I've been wanting. My mom did the rice, everything on the tray, and then she came and then she put it. And I'm looking at this food and I'm seeing all these green peppers. I'm like, this is what this woman wants us to eat. So while I'm eating with one spoon, with one hand, I was using the other hand to be picking out the green sweet peppers. Picking out, my mom was literally looking at me, to the point almost all the sauce I've pushed to the corner. And my mom, she didn't say anything after that. And that time my appetite was so poor anyway, I barely eat. So we did that, and we had food and that. And so it was like that very day, I think around 11 or so, there was a school that was right next to where my mom was. So my mom's like, oh, we're gonna go to the school so we can check and see, like, in terms of like registration or whatnot. So when that time I was 12, you know, but because of the war in Sierra Leone, like, we had missed a lot of schooling and literally we were behind in terms of like our progress. So I was, at that time when I left Sierra Leone, I was in year 6, but at the age I was supposed to be in year 7. So when we went to, first when we were going, my mom got us dressed to go and we're going to the car, and I saw the sun. I was like, oh my god, I did not know the sun comes out in this place, because when we came it was pitch dark. So when I saw the sun, I was like, oh, the sun actually does come out in this place. We went to the school, and then there was a primary school, and they told my mom that I would have to go and register over secondary school. So but they registered my sister to start immediately, start at school. So at this time I was with my mom most of the time. So when we were in Sierra Leone, I always used to help anyway, in terms of like to bath my sister and all of that. So I was doing it. So when we came, my mom was gonna trying to bath. I was like, don't worry, I will bath my sister and then I will have my own bath as well. So as I was running the water in the tub for my sister, my mom came in and she's like, don't use this, use this. I was like, okay mommy, but I was not looking or paying attention to what she was saying. Don't use this, use this. She went back to I think she was in the kitchen, and then so she had us bickering. So I took one of them. I didn't know what it was, what it wasn't. I just poured it inside the bath, and I told my sister to enter, and my sister's like, no, mom said you shouldn't use that one, she used that one. And I was like, are you going to enter? You're going to stand here arguing with me? My mom came. As soon as my sister was about to get in, my mom, I think she smelled it. You will know what it is now. She smelled, and she was coming to the bathroom, and my sister's about to go in. My mom just grabbed my sister out. I'm like, what happened? She's like, it's bleach that you bath my sister in bleach. Luckily, mom came on time. I poured almost the entire container of that bleach inside the bathroom for my sister to go in. And my mom just came, grab my sister's like, no, you don't, you said you down. No, this. I was like, oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. So that time my mom completely took out any other thing that is not for, you know, bathing from the bathroom, so I don't ever do that again. And so the other time, I think it was at the next day, one of the days anyway, there was food my mom had it in the fridge that was in the pot. So my mom said if I wanted to eat, I should heat up some food in the microwave. I was like, all right. I took the saucepan, the pot, and just put it inside the microwave. I put it inside the microwave. My mom's like, no, you dish into a bowl and then put it in the microwave. You don't take the saucepan, the pot, and put it inside the microwave. I was like, oh, sorry. So that happened. And then obviously one time my socks got wet, and so my mom's like, oh, dry them. And I remember when things go into the microwave, they come back, they're warm or dry, whatever the case may be. So I asked my mom if I should put my socks in the microwave. Oh, Lord Jesus Christ. My mom is like, no, of course not. I was like, sorry. And it was just crazy. So my sister started school, as I say. We were still looking for school for me. We went to Woolworth Academy in London. Went there, and my mom was explaining to them she wanted to get me registered for school, and this lady looked down at me. She's like, are you sure she's 12 years of age? She thought she's a little thing, isn't she? I was like, seriously? As if I don't know that? Seriously? So she's like, she looks very tiny for 12. I wish I would know that woman right now, so I can go and stand and be like, now what? Now what? What do you think? Now I'm grown. Now what? So we went on to another school. Yeah, that time it was called Jeffrey Chose, and now it's Global Academy. We went to the school. Then they said we should go for an assessment, and so I did the assessment. I did really well. One thing with me, even though I had my health issues and I was in, you know, we were going through war that disturbed our education, I was still, like, you know, a smart girl even at that age. So when I did my assessment, they were just like, wow, amazed. So they ended up putting me in the top tier, in year 7, the top tier. And of course there were some of the, you know, classmates that didn't like that, because usually when somebody comes from Africa, they'll put them in the low tier, and for them to adjust, you know, language things and all of that. But when they did my assessment, I was, you know, good writing, reading, maths, you name it. I was really good at that, expressing myself. So not only was I in the top tier, they ended up putting me on the gifted and talented program, where we did extracurriculum activities, because, you know, the way I was. So yeah, so but now we're after past the assessment, and they said for me to start the next week, we needed to go and get a uniform for me. Went to the shop. Every last uniform looked like a gown on me. The blazer, this is my hand, this is where the blazer went to. All the uniforms were literally like so much. All the uniforms were just, so they just looked massive on me. Literally, I think my first blazer could fit me, the one that my mom got me when I started school. I think that blazer fit me all the way till I finished secondary. Or was it up to year 10 or 9? Yeah, so, but in the same time, because of the way I was back home, getting sick all the time, and so my mom took me to the GP when I started complaining of pain when we came, obviously with the weather. But that time we didn't actually know what I had. It was just like, you know, speculation. We didn't actually know. So Went to the GP. The GP took just examined me and sent us straight to the hospital, to A&E. Went there, they were doing all this tests. First of all, like, everything was so different, because usually when we used to go to the hospital, we sit there, you wait to be registered, you pay for registration, then you wait, and then till they see you, then this. So it was different. So me going into hospital, and literally as soon as we got there, we were seen, treated. They did this test, that test, that test, that test. Not just that, when the first time I remember going to the ward, oh my god, I was like, wow. They had a TV. Well, them time was them box TV, but nonetheless TV, DVDs, you know, you can even like games. And I was like, wow, because we never had that in hospital in Sierra Leone. You have your bed, cabinet, and maybe a mosquito net. That was it. So it was just so different. So by the time when we were, I think, yeah, so when we were finally, I think we had another appointment to go to the hospital, and we got on the bus. That time it was a double-decker bus, and we got inside and went up, and my mom's like, we should go sit at the front. I was like, but where's the driver that's upstairs supposed to sit? Because I thought there was a driver downstairs and then another one upstairs. That was what I thought it was. So don't blame me. And my mom was just like laughing and saying, no. It's just one driver that we have. And also I remember when my mom took us to the supermarket to do shopping, and she's literally telling us to take whatever we want. I was like, who? To take whatever we want? When during the war you will share one spoon of rice among 6 people, and she's here like, just take anything you want, put it in the trolley. I was like, oh my god, you know. So it was great. My mom was, before even I started school, my mom was teaching me about using computers, this and that. I was reading, doing activities already, even while I was still waiting to start school. And so one time my auntie came to visit us. My mom got my auntie some food, and then and all that, so we ate. And then later on my mom's like, oh, if we wanted yogurt, and she came, and I was like, no, I don't want. And my auntie was like, why? And I said, and I quote, yogurt make me feel unconscious. Yogurt makes me feel unconscious. My mom is like, what? I was confusing like nauseous and unconscious. My mom, you know, when you hear words and you just like, I'm just gonna use this word wherever it fits without knowing what the meaning was. So instead of saying nauseous, I said unconscious. It's really just crazy. So but eventually my brother also came and joined us. My brother literally got here February, just the day before I started. He came on a Sunday, and it was a Monday that I was going to start school. And my brother and my mom had to teach me how to do a tie. You know, I'm thinking, why I was in primary school and we didn't have a tie in primary school, and so then in secondary school people do, you know. And even in the class itself, it was different. And I remember when we used to be in class and somebody, ooh, let me tell you this, oh, let me not forget. So after starting school, I was in a class one day. I wanted to pee, right? And the teacher was going on. And I put my hand up, and it's like okay, Miriam, come. And this is me, I kid you not. I was like, sir, can I please use the loo? The entire class erupted laughing, because in Africa that's what you do. That please can you excuse me, or please can I be excused? And everybody's thinking, what is this girl doing? Looking back now, wow. But that was what I was used to. And then being in class and seeing like certain, you know, my classmates, they will be getting so upset with the teacher. I'm not doing your work. I'm like, what is wrong with these people? You want to tell me you're getting free education and all of these resources and books and all of this, and you are telling the teacher who has finished his education and has a job that you're not doing his work? It's never made sense to me, because I thought you'd be privileged to. That's how we were in Africa. You're very polite, and then also like seeing that just some of these children would just get so, they would start cussing out, they would do all these things, and nobody is taking a whip to whip them. I was like, well, no wonder they're acting like this. If they were whipping them like the way we were whipped in Africa, they would not be doing these things, you know. It was just crazy. And being in school, and for me, I was just that kind of reserved person, so most of the time I kept to myself. It wasn't until when another girl had started school that came from Ghana, who was my best friend in school. Ikea started. That was the time I was able to like find somebody, a best friend that we understood each other, we had respect and all of these things, you know, not like this ones here that were just, they felt like they were doing the teacher a favor. That's how crazy it was. Whereas in, you know, in Africa, there are kids that they want education so badly, but they are not getting that opportunity. They don't have the resources. And here you have kids that are literally like, I'm not doing it. They can walk out at any time, you know. And it's really sad. It's sad that people don't have that value. But again, sometimes when you are fortunate like that, you don't really see how life is in other parts of the world, because all you know is what you've been taught, what you've seen. That is all you know, so you don't really value that, you know. And this is why for me right now as a mom, it's very important for me. That's why I take my kids back home, and I want them to also go to Nigeria with their dad's home, because I want my kids to know how privileged they are and fortunate to be in this part of the world where they don't have to worry about things like that, education, this and all these opportunities. That's why I take them back home, because when they see the way of life other people living and the lack of opportunities they have, I'm praying they will grow up to value what they have, you know. They will grow up to value that. For me, I am so grateful. I always say, if my mom had not tried so hard as it was, she never gave up to bring us over to the UK to join her, especially me, I might not still be alive today. Because when I then became a teenager, my sickle cell got so bad, and had that been in Africa, I doubt I would have survived a lot of the incidents and experiences we had to deal with my health. Had it been in Africa, I might not be still here. And that is why I'm also passionate about my foundation and the work that I do, both here and back home, but more so back home, because some people, even the information, they don't have that awareness, and that's what we're working hard to do, not just for the patient but for their loved ones as well. And it's a really difficult time right now. It's already hard, so imagine you going through all of this and then you have a condition like sickle cell. It's really difficult. Some people live by themselves and they have to shield, so they're isolated, and this will bring about a lot of issues. So that's why I've started a Facebook support group for people with sickle cell, their relatives. If you're a friend, a relative, or a partner, spouse, if you work in the health field, or if you just have an interest towards that, then you can definitely join the group. I'll put the link and pass it on to anybody as well that you know, because we need to support one another. And we're gonna be, I've already started posting like information there, guidelines for people with sickle cell and COVID. So sickle cell and COVID guidelines and what you should do, I've got that there, and I want to be using that as a way to share information, keep people up to date, and also to be able to get that support. We're gonna be doing at some point like Zoom meetings as well, so we can discuss different things. I can have guest speakers and all of that, and all of this, you know, because I was able to come to this part of the world and have those opportunities. And I'll forever be grateful to the Almighty, to my mom, my family, and especially my mom, the sacrifices that she's had to make. And I will keep working hard to make her proud, so she'll know her hard work was worth it. And I feel like God chose me and gave me the opportunity to, regardless of everything I've gone through, to still be here. So I'll be able to use my voice, my experiences. When I say these things, I'm not just saying them, I've experienced them, you know, and I know what it's like. And so yeah, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you've had a bit of a laugh, you know. And yeah, this is my first like official story time. I've got many, and I'm gonna do some with my sister, you know, as time goes on. So if you don't want to miss those, just don't forget to, you know, subscribe, like, and all of that, and share as well. Thank you, and have a blessed day, week, month, year, even though this year has been a very difficult one. But let's learn to take the good out of it and keep hoping that things will get better. This too shall pass. All right, everybody, take care of yourself, stay safe, please, wear your mask, wash your hands, and all that. And until next time, bye bye. Mwah.
Shot.